Now in this video, we will discuss about environmental concerns and sustainable development. Now there is a one term which is called as a global warming. All of you might have heard about this term. Now let us understand what is exactly global warming. You can see in your slide, it's an increase in the temperature of the atmosphere near the earth. So we can say that whatever the increase in temperature, day by day it is getting hotter and hotter. You can just feel it, and it will go on. And many of us are saying that because of the ozone layer. So the ozone layer above the earth is distorted, so it is broken. So that is what the many scientists they are telling. But the question comes is how this is done. This is happening because of the greenhouse gases. So whatever the gases produced by the carbons, what we call it as the carbons or monoxides, and uh, whatever the greenhouse gases are produced by these vehicles, by some what you can say the incinerations, that is the burning of some chemicals and all. Because of that, and the atmospheric temperature is increased because of this GHG, what we call greenhouse gases, what are produced. It is increasing the temperature at the Earth surface, and global warming, it can be called as a warming that can occur due to increased greenhouse gas emissions from the human activities. That is what I said now. Now, exactly what is happening? So you must have heard about a greenhouse effect also. In developed countries like America and all, they are creating the greenhouse. So whatever the greenhouse gases are there, they are accumulating in one glass house or something like that. They create that, and that is helpful for increasing the growth in the vegetables and all. Actually, due to increased greenhouse gas emissions from human activities, so human activities, whatever I have discussed, even if more energy is developed or more energy is manufactured using that thermal stations, there we are using coal. Ultimately what happens, the coal is also responsible for whatever the waste it is producing. That is also a greenhouse gas. So we can say that if we consume more energy, more current, we are directly or indirectly responsible for generating more greenhouse gases. So here, due to increased greenhouse gas emissions from human activities, which trap heat that would otherwise could have escaped from the earth, and this phenomenon we can call it as a greenhouse effect. So exactly what is this, we have to understand. What happens when so if you take a sun, the sun rays are coming towards the earth. So here we have to understand the meaning of this activity which traps heat that that would otherwise escape from the earth means what, that we have to understand here. We know that sun is essential for us, for a human being or whatever the living animals on the earth. Sun is essential. What happens, whatever the sun rays are coming, it will have a force, heat. Those will be coming and hitting onto the earth's surface, and it is going back. And actually what this greenhouse gas is doing, why this global warming is taking place, that we have to understand here now. How this global warming is taking place. We are all saying that okay, day by day the temperature is increasing, but no one is thinking or no one wants to control that. That is why so many, the governments, the whole world, WHO, whoever is there, or World Health Organization, they are all now planning about dealing with the environment. Whatever the environmental degradation is taking place, so whatever has happened, that we cannot control. But what will happen in the future, that needs to be checked, and it should be kept under control. Otherwise, someday nothing will be left in the earth. Everything will be destroyed. So exactly how this global warming is happening, that we have to understand. Due to increased greenhouse emissions from human activities, what happens, whatever the sun rays are coming and hitting the earth, When they try to penetrate from the earth and go back above the earth's surface, those will be blocked by this greenhouse gases. So that is what it is creating a greenhouse effect. Means it is like it is working like in this way. The sun rays are coming, hitting the surface of the earth, and when they try to go back, that greenhouse gases blocks that. So that is why it is called as a greenhouse. That is why it is called as a greenhouse. And whatever the heat is there, it will remain on the earth only. That is why there will be a global warming, means increase in the temperature. And of course the climate change also will be present. This is kind of a risk what we can have, and it can impact the global for the long, and it can it can impact the global and long term and damage. It can cause essentially increasably, means the climate change is continuously happening, means it will have an increase in the temperature. Yes. Now this next in this particular concept we have to discuss about inconvenient truth. So there is one actually a few years back after Bill Clinton, one of the vice president of America, his name is Al Gore. He also contested for the president election and he lost to George W. Bush. He is a environmentalist and was very popular. He had one documentary which is called Inconvenient Truth. Inconvenient Truth, an Inconvenient Truth, and it was an Oscar-winning documentary film. And he has explained everything what can happen with climate change and the global warming, what difficulties will come across the human being if we are not really thinking about this wastages. So that concept we can call it as an inconvenient truth. Next is a sustainable development. Yeah, sustainability, what we call sustainable green environment. When we talk about that, so exactly what is sustainability or what is sustainable environment? If we say, now suppose assume that one production is done by some certain company, and straight away if you go and tell that company to stop, you cannot produce the materials, so they will have economical losses. So the term sustainability means it is meeting the needs and seeking the balance between. See here, what is important is when we go for the environmental sustainability, as I mentioned, we cannot go and straight away say you have to stop it. But in some extreme cases where it is very toxic and very dangerous for the human health, in those cases many enterprises or many productions they have to stop without any what you can say is they cannot give them any advantage, or they should stop. But in many areas, how the sustainability is done is the balance is done between the people, environment and economy, and that is what we can call it as a sustainability or sustainable development. It comprises the economy, environmental and social dimensions. That means all the things are kept in the consideration and accordingly the changes are done. Next is the question comes is why we should go green. So there are some reasons they are given. First one is increasing energy consumption and energy prices. So if you use more energy, ultimately it will lead to the greenhouse gases. So how that we will discuss later. And of course as the consumption increases, the demand also increases, the energy prices also will be increased. One interesting thing I want to tell you here, so many people we are not aware and it will come in the future also, but I will just highlight the thing here. So we are using mobiles. So what we are doing, we just put a charger and we charge our mobile. Once we charge, we just simply remove the charger pin and we go without switching off the mobile. What is happening is, although you have not connected mobile to your charger, still it will consume energy. So this is how we are contributing to the wastage of energy. Energy means electricity. Next is growing consumer interest in the environmentally friendly goods and services. Yes, this is one of the key factors. Nowadays you must have heard about on the televisions or even on the fridges we are getting the 5-star ratings, correct? 5-star rating, 3-star rating. Those are what are those things we will discuss in the future. And many of us are using the solar electricity. So that is what we can call the growing interest in the economical friendly goods and services. Like that, many are there. Solar water heater is there, which can avoid using water burning of wood, and also it can avoid using electric heaters like that. Then next is higher expectation by the public on enterprise environment responsibilities. Then emerging stricter regulatory and compliance requirements. Yes, this is one of the key factors. So here nowadays many government agencies or investors and even the public, they are now giving more. Now many companies, they have started using this 5-star rating and all, and also government agencies, the investors, they are all investing on they have started investing on the green products. So we will discuss those things in the future classes.